it is Taylor Bridges. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am reviewing Harlem. It is back, y'all, and this is season 2, episode 1, and we can get right on into it. I don't like to waste any time. Last season, I did leave off pretty annoyed with everyone except for Ty. Camille playing games with this woman's fiance. Like, Camille annoyed the crap out of me from beginning to end. Quinn was just super annoying. I kind of forgot why, but this season she quickly reminded me, gave me a new reason, if if anything. And Angie is annoying because she's a bum. Initially I thought like episode 1 didn't like give so much to really talk about, but when I looked over my notes, there was enough. So I actually don't have to put both episodes 1 and 2 together. I think I could do this one by itself, so we can get on with it. We left off with last season with Ian and Camille kissing, and Ian's fiance Mira seeing them. And I'm like, that's honestly pathetic for both of them. Ian and Camille. It's just not a flex. Like, Camille, there are so many men out there other than this woman's fiance. Like, it's actually kind of lazy. Mira tries to pretend like she's cool with it and she doesn't see them kissing, and then she ends up confronting them, and then admits like catching them the first time they did it too. And I was like, whoa, like, dang, Mira, like, you a G. Mira held that in. That's so interesting though. Like, that has to be tough. Like, you see them kissing, but you to suppress that because you don't want to like blow up your relationship, because it's easy for us to say, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Tripping. I would have left. But from Mira's perspective, it's like, dang, like, I'm about to get married. Like, I've already, like, all of this time and energy and like money and all this to come up to this moment. Like, what can occur that I'm willing to like tear all of this down? Like, what is my breaking point? And I think that first kiss, her letting it go, was very big of her. So this second time, and it's the day before the wedding, that's so trifling. And she admits her frustration is with both of them, and honestly I understand a bit. Like, obvious, like, most of the time I'm the type of person, I'm like, I don't see why people have an issue with the woman in situations. Most of the time I think the smoke should be for your man. Don't even let this woman see you sweat. I do understand Myra's frustration with Camille in this situation. Like, you've been getting cool with this woman, you've been in this woman's face. Like, come on. Like, at the end of the day, you have context. Like, you know this couple, you know what's going on here. It's not like you're just some like stranger mistress that's just completely out of the loop in another state, never seen his wife in person or his kids. Like, you're around this woman and you're like messing with her man, but like smiling in her face, and have the audacity to stand there crying and sobbing and feeling bad. Like, Camilla's pathetic. I don't know. I can imagine Myra's just going through a series of thoughts and feelings in that moment. That's why, like, she just doesn't really know how to react. She doesn't know where, like, she like, I thought, like, her initial shock, she was trying to, like, initially just ignore that it even happened and move about. Like, she doesn't know how to feel. It's just so much happening, and the big blinking sign is that, like, this wedding is tomorrow. So it's like, dang, like, am I really about to just keep going through with this just because it's tomorrow and we have all this invested, or am I gonna see it for what it is? Like, we should not be together. Like, I just saw what I saw for the second time. And I think that's a bigger of her. But Camille standing there crying would have pissed me off more than anything. That would have pissed me off. What are you crying for? Oh my gosh. And then after it blows up and Myra storms off, Camille ends up saying she was naive to think that this could be some sweet happily ever after, you know, with Ian. I'm like, ma'am, this man was engaged. You thought you were gonna have a sweet happily ever after with an engaged man. And it's not that I don't have smoke for Ian. It's just he's clearly an F boy. You know what I mean? And I'm not wasting my breath on him. Like, Camilla's a lost cause too, and I'm giving up on wasting my breath on her. But I'm like, I just want her to do better for herself. I think she's super selfish and just self-destructive, personally. Camille walks out to Quinn being hype about doing this like interview with Vogue, and I think it has something to do with fashion. And if I'm not mistaken, the opportunity even came from like Myra, if I'm not mistaken, because didn't Quinn make Mira's dress? So that was pretty cool. Mira is just a cool girl. Like she, just from her wedding, like she was willing to work with all these people that were like adjacent to like Ian and Camille, and like she just seems like a really cool, down to earth woman. And she didn't deserve what Ian pulled at all, but that's okay. Angie has pulled up to her cuddy buddy Eric's house, and she's just desperate for some sex. And I'm like, are women out here like really thirsty for sex like this? Like, do women do this, like really like banging on dudes' doors to like let them in to like have sex? Like, is it really out? Is that what we're doing? I'm not judging. I'm really just asking, because I can't imagine that being like a real thing. Are women really doing that? Like, it's hard out here, I'm assuming. Now we're at the scene where the ladies are all together at their usual spot. They're having breakfast. Ty says that her husband has accused her of not being able to emotionally connect with people, and her friends actually agree. So that's going to be the focus for Ty this season. And I think it's an interesting one to explore. So I'm here for it. Camille says she doesn't regret kissing Ian, but she doesn't want their relationship to start in the middle of all this chaos. And I'm like, it's already done. Like, yes, it's starting in chaos, which should tell you something. Y'all haven't even gotten a full 24 hours in a relationship, and it's already a mess. Y'all got together over messiness, being messy. So this is going to be a messy situation. She didn't forgot her drunk behind went to her boss's house the night before. And I'm like, that's pathetic, and that's not a real life situation. It can't be. That's super reckless. Camille is super reckless. She says that she's going to get Mira to forgive her. And I'm like, are you okay? Like, you don't actually... Camille does not care about actually hurting people around her. She's more uncomfortable being disliked. She doesn't like people not liking her. That's more... She don't care about Mira's feelings. She don't care, technically, because if she cared that much, she wouldn't continue to beat on Ian. Like, clearly she's going to keep doing what she wants to do. So I wish she would just cut it. Cut the crap. She's so fake. She just doesn't like being disliked. That's why she's trying to do this apology tour. Whew. All the ladies are walking down the sidewalk, and this dude tells Angie that her future entails making love to the most beautiful man, and then her bad luck will change. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if I want someone telling me my future or anything like that. To me, it's like too close to like manifesting over me. Like, I don't want what you say to like stick to me so bad that like now I'm like pretty much like manifesting it myself, and then it really comes true, because now that's what I'm focusing on. Like, I'd rather manifest and make come true my own dreams and realizations. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need other people putting their realizations for me on me, if that makes sense. But I'm not against people who do like tarot card readings and psychics and stuff like that. It's just not for me at this point in my life. I may change my mind. As of now, it's just not something I do. The ladies are getting a pedicure, and one of the pedicurists is this like cute black guy, and Angie is being so thirsty and horny. Like, do people really just see strangers and immediately get aroused and ready for sex? Like, it just seems a little bit over the top to me. Like, dang, you can't just you really can't get a pedicure without getting hot in the pants. Like, you can't see an attractive dude without getting all hot in the pants. Like, is that what you're telling me? I don't know. It just seemed a bit over the top, and the next thing you know, she went to have sex with the dude. And, I have thoughts about this beautiful black melanated queen being so objectified and sexualized on this show. I don't know. I could be reading too much into it. But I don't know. I I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I like it personally. But I want her to. I want them, the show, to develop Angie's character past this. You know, I think it's already bad enough that she's a super bum, but this woman is beautiful, banging, and she's a great actress, and she's dramatic enough. Like, let's take her. I want to take her character somewhere else. I don't want to see this promiscuity and bumminess. Is really given like broke prostitute, broke hooker. You know what I mean? And it's 2023. We're not doing that. Like, I don't want to see it. So I want them to develop her character more. But Dr. Pruitt is open to speaking to Camille's drunk behind briefly after she showed her behind the previous night. She's upset with Camille, but she does show her grace and reminds her how she does have her back. And that's contrary to what, Camille thinks, But I think Camille was just doing drunk talk in her feelings. But I also think, let me not even say that, because Camille did express, I think just feeling misunderstood in a way by Dr. Pruitt. But Dr. Pruitt warns Camille not to show her behind back up at that house without an invitation. Meanwhile, Ty is taking Quinn to the sex toy shop, and Quinn is being such a square. She's totally lost in the store. She's overthinking it, but I'm not going to judge somebody for misunderstanding their sexuality. I think a lot of people operate in that space, and I think a lot of people don't take time to even develop their own understanding of their sexuality enough, to see the ways in which they're clumsy or can, or awkward or can stand to learn more about, So I think it's cool that she is even open to exploring this space, and it can be very uncomfortable. And there's just so many societal pressures and standards around sexuality, so kudos to her for even trying. Angie and this dude are getting it in, and it's like something that I notice, and I talk about this all the time. I see most times, like when sex scenes come up, I always mention to my boyfriend, like, these shows don't even try to edit in any part about a guy reaching for a condom or something. Like, I wish shows would just promote safe sex, at least. If you're going to have this much sex going on in a season, in an episode, show safe sex, please. Show a condom being put on or a condom being grabbed for. Something. Heck, worst case scenario, a condom breaking. You know what I mean? Something. Just show at least trying to have safe sex. Because you cannot tell me that this beautiful, I don't like, think about that. Like, I do not want to see this beautiful, banging, melanated queen meet this dude and agree to have sex with him just off the cuff that she just met. I don't know if I just raw. I don't know if I like my queen going out like that. I want them to show something else. I need them to show some type of protection. They finish what they're doing in the hallway. Angie sees, oh boy, the dude's roommate, and she's like even more attracted to him and thinks he's the fine man that she's supposed to be having sex with to overturn her luck. So she tells him that she has a twin sister that's interested in him, and they're such idiots. Like, it was such a cute joke. It was super funny. The way they were just acting, it was just a funny scene. Like, it's so stupid. Like, doggone, she got no twin sister. Like, that. And how would she even know her twin sister is into this dude? Like, enough to I don't know, set them up for that evening. I don't know. Camille had stopped by Ian's mom's house to apologize, and the family had flown in town since the wedding was supposed to be that very day that Camille is at the mama's house. So she's on the phone with Ty telling her how, she made amends with Ian's mom, and the mom wanted them together anyway. And I'm like, okay, them mamas. Them mamas be just as fake sometimes. You gotta watch them. sometimes the mama be on whoever side her son's side on. So the mama could be telling Camille that, but she also could have told Mira behind that, honestly. And another girl that was in between both of them, both of those ladies, time with Ian. So you never know. And Mira walks up while Camille's having this conversation, and Camille acts like, you know, this whole kissing Ian thing was just this huge accident. Like, you didn't just trip and fall into kissing Ian. Y'all didn't trip and fall. Like, get. She says it wasn't supposed to happen like this. Get you some self-control. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. What are you talking about? You don't just happen to kiss a man. You don't just fall into kissing a man that happens to be engaged, Camille. Like, she's like half behinding, half ASS in her accountability. You know what I mean? Like, she's doing the bare minimum. She's really not taking accountability. She really wants to make it. She really is trying to chalk it up to it being an accident, or like, I don't know. Like, that's super insulting. There's no way her and Ian will work. There's just no way. Look at the drama and the damage control and convincing that they have to do not even 24 hours together. It's not an organic union thus far. It's purely emotional and it's rash. You know, they're both operating from the younger selves that they were when they were in their last relationship. That's what they're operating from. They're tapping into that old self, that the old people that they were when they were together. It's endearing, it's nostalgic, it feels right, but it's not sustainable because you're no longer those people anymore. So it's going to wear off. You're like years older now. You have different life experiences now. So it's only going to last for so long. And they're going to quickly realize, you know, they haven't really changed, you know, because if either of them had really evolved, they wouldn't be carrying on in this way. You know what I mean? Like, there's a thousand ways that they could have handled this scenario, period. You can't tell me they're any different than who they used to be. They seem the same messy people, in my opinion. I'm glad Myra has let it go. She didn't have a choice because Ian wants to be with Camille, but I'm glad she's at least taking the steps to go ahead and just move forward instead of trying to like plead and work it out with this fool. Like, I'm really glad Mira has enough self-control. And honestly, even when she confronted them after kissing, and even when she confronted Camille, I think she's been handling all these situations very well. Very well. So kudos to Mira. Ty passes a pet shop and she sees this super cute little puppy and is giving her those cute little puppy dog eyes that I know I would not be able to resist. I love dogs. I wouldn't be able to. I would never walk past a pet store. It's not worth it. I would never leave. They would have to like physically escort me out. She starts to bond with this dog, who ironically has a very similar personality to hers, but she ultimately doesn't let herself get attached and emotionally invested in the dog. Therefore, she leaves without the dog. And she says she's not the bonding type. Camille pops up at Dr. Pruitt's house again, except unannounced. And she says she's going to teach through the summer, then quit. And Dr. Pruitt is pleased with the idea. So I'm curious to see where they're going to develop the storyline to. What is Camille going to do next? Like, is she going to go to another school in New York City? Is she going to actually end up leaving? Is she going to swoop in and take Jameson's Chicago job that she finessed him out of? That would be hilarious. Quinn and her new lady Isabella are getting steamy, and Quinn is just very awkward and overthinking about their like sex, but Isabella is able to lead her pretty well. And Isabella exudes this great alpha masculine energy, while not being like she's still feminine and beautiful and sexy, right? But she still gives like this alpha energy that I think is really good for Quinn. I think she's super attracted to that. She comments how Quinn's room is amazing, and I was like, you know, there is nothing like going to the place of somebody you like or you're dating, and they have a nice place with like furniture and like lights and like the accessories, you know, like the whole spread. Like, they put thought, and you know, it's decorated. Like, it's not just furniture there, like it's decor. Like, that's such a good feeling. It's like, ooh, you got money. Like, you got, okay, a little painting. Okay, some candles. Okay, you got the appliances. You got a air fryer and a blender and a juicer. Like, you got the matching end table with the, okay, the TV's mounted. Everything's in place. It's dope when somebody got their place together. Like, so that was funny that Isabella mentioned that. Quinn pulls out these wild sex toys that do not look appealing, but I don't know what goes on in lesbian land, but maybe it's the wave, so I'm not gonna judge, but I'm like, ooh, who's dealing with any of that? Angie, aka Mariah, meets up again with Jawan, and it's just so funny because both him and his roommate think that Angie no, they think that Mariah is way finer than Angie. Like, they just kept saying, oh, you, dang, Angie's fine, but you way finer. Like, I thought that was so funny. Jawan even went so far to say she's funnier and sexier. So that had me giggling. They are so silly. Like, they are such idiots. That was so funny. Low-key, I feel like that's totally something you could pull on a guy, though. Either he'd really believe you were a twin because he's an idiot, or he'd just go along with it because he just wants the sex regardless. So, like, whatever convinces you, whatever you need to do to convince yourself to give it up to me twice, fine. This one is you, the second is your twin sister. Cool. No big deal. All right, yeah, you're twin. All right, okay. Like, that's what I can see a guy doing. Can people really turn on this sex drive, like, for a complete stranger on the spot like that? Like, dude just pull down his pants, they getting right to it. Like, people do that? Whew. I don't know. So you just met him that day. You just had sex with his friend earlier. Now you having sex with him, and he not reaching for a condom. Y'all ain't had no conversation. Y'all, he don't even know your real name. He think you. I don't know. Your twin, I don't know. It's just, I'm like, oh my gosh, is this like accurate? Like, is this something that like really is happening out here? Ty pops into a plant shop to find something without a heartbeat to thrive under her care. She ends up getting a cactus. Cacti are my favorite plant, and I thought it was so funny that she was arguing with the lady about the clearance price, about what it really is, and she threatens to sue the lady for false advertisement, and she will take all the plants. And I don't blame her. I don't play that either. I am very much so like, no, it said, this is what it says. I know, I understand. It's not my problem. This is what it advertised as. So I would like this price honored. Ty gets home and immediately ruins the cactus in the garbage disposal by accident, and I think it's a terrible sign. Like, that was literally, cacti are literally the easiest plants to care for. They literally need close to nothing, so that says something. Like, you can't even provide like below the bare minimum, like the barest minimum. Camille gets home to see Jamie sit on her steps, and he tells her he let go of the opportunity in Chicago so he can now be near her for their relationship. Why would you do that? That's a lot. Like, I think to turn down a job opportunity for like one reason, and that being a relationship, like a dating relationship, not even like a marriage, is super risky. But that's where the episode ends. So I will be posting episode 2 shortly thereafter this. Thank you so much for your time and attention. If you would be so kind to like, comment, and subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm so excited to be reviewing Harlem this season. I'm going to give it my best go, and let's see what they're going to bring this season. All right. Bye.